Number 4, to blaspheme the scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to gain imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, that is Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So the last offense which is told to be inattentive while chanting. So that I am very apt for that. So I don't know when I will rectify that. Anyways, Hare Krishna. So thank you so much for joining for today's call. So today we will be moving on to our session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. So before moving on to the session, I would like to know who are all on the call.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandruth Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Wishing all the devotees a happy Nityananda Trayadasi. I know from part India, and I think for you also today, right, Mataji? Happy Nityananda Trayadasi.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And yes, very happy Nityananda Trayadashi to all of you who are all celebrating today. And yesterday, I think for you it is finished. So belated happy Nityananda Trayadashi for you also. Thank you so much for joining the call. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devidasi from Naperville, and I'm so happy to see you again, Mataji, here, and also I'm fortunate to meet you in person. Happy Nityananda Trayadashi to you today, and everyone else who's celebrating today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji, I'm also so happy. I think you joined the calls from last week, so I was very happy, very glad to listen, to hear your chanting again. So yes, I was also so fortunate to meet you in person. So hopefully we can meet each other and every one of you who are all on the call one by one. So by Krishna's, if you meet, it will be a great opportunity for us. Thank you so much, Mataji, for coming on the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. I was actually expecting you also with Manjari Leela Mataji, but never mind. Next time you can join her. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna and happy Nityananda Dashi to you, Mataji, and all the assembled devotees who are out of India, out of our country here, USA, and okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Happy Nityananda Triyodashi to you also. Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce?
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. This is Induleka Karna Devi Dasi from LinkedIn. Mataji, Prabhuji is also on the call.
Yes, Mataji, I saw. Hare Krishna, Induleka Karna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I think Krishna Kumari Mataji want to introduce.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, your Goish Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. And happy Nityananda Trayodasi to you and all in India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every single day. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, and very happy Nityananda Triyodashi to all of you. So today we will be moving on to the session, the Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Anand Chaitanya Prabhu. Before moving on to the call, I would like to hand over call to Tiffany Mataji to give brief introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your valuable association. Hare Krishna. Take over the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So this morning we have the pleasure of hosting His Grace Ananta Chaitanya Prabhu. Prabhuji is from Pune and came in touch with the devotees during his undergraduate studies. He has completed his master's in computer science from Arizona State University and is working as a software engineer in Intel. He took initiation from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2019 and is serving the Phoenix Temple in Arizona. He gives Bhagavatam classes every week and is also engaged in leading kirtan at ISKCON of Phoenix. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call, Prabhuji. So wonderful to take your association again.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for being so welcoming. It's exciting to be here. Thank you again. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji. Thank you so much for that brief introduction. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Welcome to the call, Prabhuji. So today, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and very happy Nityananda Triyodashi, because we are celebrating here. So that's why I'm saying I don't know what is the time zone for you. So Hare Krishna. So today the Bhagavatam verse will be from Canto 7, chapter 5, and text 14. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's always Nityananda Triyodashi, some or the other place, right? It's like the Lord appearing. It's like the waves in the ocean, right? He's always appearing somewhere. So it's always Nityananda Triyodashi. Yes. So it's really nice. That example is really nice. Thank you. So let me share. Okay. Can you all see the verse?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, cool. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, verse number 14. Yata Brahmyati Ayo Brahman Swayam Akarsha Sannidho Tatha me vidyati chetas Chakrapanir Yadrichaya. Yatha Brahmyati Ayo Brahman Swayam Akarsha Sannidho Tatha me vidyate chetas Chakrapanir Yadrichaya. Yatha Brahmyati Ayo Brahman Swayam Akarsha Sannidho Tatha me vidyate chetas Chakrapanir Yadrichaya. Translation. O Brahmanas, teachers, as iron attracted by a magnetic stone moves automatically toward the magnet, my consciousness, having been changed by his will, is attracted by Lord Vishnu, who carries a disc in his hand. Thus I have no independence. Purport by His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. For iron to be attracted by a magnet is natural. Similarly, for all living entities to be attracted toward Krishna is natural. And therefore, the Lord's real name is Krishna, meaning He who attracts everyone and everything. The typical examples of such attraction are found in Vrindavan, where everything and everyone is attracted by Krishna. The elderly persons like Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Devi, the friends like Sri Dama, Sudama, and other cowherd boys, the gopis like Srimati Radharani and her associates, and even the birds, bees, cows, and calves are attracted. The flowers and fruits in the gardens are attracted, the waves of the Yamuna are attracted, and the land, sky, trees, plants, animals, and all other living beings are attracted by Krishna. This is the natural situation of everyone, everything in Vrindavan. Just contrary to the affairs of Vrindavan is the material world, where no one is attracted by Krishna and everyone is attracted by Maya. This is the difference between the spiritual and material worlds. Hiranyakashipu, who was in the material world, was attracted by women and money, whereas Prahlad Maharaj, being in his natural position, was attracted by Krishna. In replying to Hiranyakashipu's question about why Prahlad Maharaj had a deviant view, Prahlad said that his view was not deviant, for the natural position of everyone is to be attracted by Krishna. Hiranyakashipu found this view deviant. Prahlad said, because of being unnaturally unattracted by Krishna, Hiranyakashipu therefore needed purification. As soon as one is purified of material contamination, he is again attracted by Krishna. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. In the material world, everyone is contaminated by the dirt of sense gratification and is acting according to different designations. Sometimes as a human being, sometimes as a beast, sometimes a demigod or tree, and so on. One must be cleansed of all these designations. Then one will be naturally attracted to Krishna. The bhakti process purifies the living entity of all unnatural attractions. When one is purified, he is attracted by Krishna and begins to serve Krishna instead of serving Maya. This is his natural position. A devotee is attracted by Krishna, whereas a non devotee, being contaminated by the dirt of material enjoyment, is not. This is confirmed by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita 7:28. Yesham tavantagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam vrata. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. One must be freed from all sinful dirt of material existence. Everyone in this material world is contaminated by material desire. Unless one is free from all material desire, anyabhilashita shunyam, one cannot be attracted by Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pankun langhati girim Yat kripatoham vande Shri Guru Dinatarim Vancha kalpatarusha kripa sindhuvaya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So thank you all once again for coming to the call and giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm really grateful to all of you who really think that I can actually do some service to you all. So thank you so much once again. So in today because it's Nityanand Triyodashi for some, and somewhere it has always it has become the next day of Nityanand Triyodashi. There was one pastime which I remembered, which Hari Parshad Prabhu was actually mentioning, and you must have also heard about it. That the concept of the Lord taking birth, you know, is eternal. Yes, it's eternal. Like this universe, Vrindavan, we don't see Krishna anymore. Yes, his physical pastimes are not there, but his Aprakat Leela is always going on. But in other universes, it's going on. Somewhere Krishna is taking birth eternally. Yes, we all know that. But to accept that at a level where we don't know what's going on in other universes, what if he's not taking birth somewhere? There's only one universe or something like that. But if we have to see that example, we can see it even in this world today. It's because Prabhupada has made Krishna consciousness so available everywhere in the whole world that today we have everybody joining from all over the world. It's like somewhere right now, they are doing Mangal Aarti. Somewhere it's 4 o'clock, somewhere it's 4:30, somewhere the Lord is waking up right now, or somewhere the Lord is still sleeping, or is having Ras Leela. So the amazing thing is that anywhere you go, it's current for us. Like for me in Phoenix, yes, the Lord is waking up, or he's already woken up and he's taking a bath right now. But somewhere, he's taking his dinner, and it is the same Lord. It's not like some other person is having that thing. No, it is the same personality. It is the same supreme personality of Godhead. We don't have to go too far to see that example that the Lord actually takes birth each and every moment. So that's why when Matajis were mentioning that we have Nityananda Triyodashi today and then it was yesterday, and it's always going on. And the amazing thing is that we can actually see that anywhere we go in the world, according to our time, the Lord is getting up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock somewhere. Yes. So that is the most wonderful thing of Krishna consciousness, that it is always in the present. Yes, it is always in the present. Why? Because we cannot control what has been done in the past. Those self-help books are there out there, and people give these big quotes. All these people giving big quotes that, you know, uh, yesterday is the past, tomorrow is the future, but today we have this gift, which is called the present. Yes, because it is a present to us, that it is, that's why it's called the present. But if you really see that these concepts, all of these concepts, whether they are 7 habits to be successful people, whether how to become happy in this life, how to be satisfied in this life, all these concepts are coming from Krishna. And the time when we start seeing them like that, that is the time when we are actually Krishna conscious. Why? Because we are connecting those things back to Krishna. Yes, somebody might put up a post of some person who is successful in the material world, like Albert Einstein said this. It is fine. Why do we need to use those quotes? Because people can relate. Yes, people can relate that, okay, I know Albert Einstein. Okay, I know I have learned about, Aristotle or Socrates somewhere in my books, or Chhatrapati Shivaji, in my book. So that's why I can mention these, like this personality said this. And that's why it is an inspiration point for us. What is an inspiration point? That these people in the material world are an inspiration point. And today's verse is related to that. That our inspiration is coming from the material world. And that is a problem. Where should our inspiration come from? We already have all of this. Because we cannot relate to all these things of Krishna consciousness. That's why we have to be always, yes, see, look at this person is so successful. He said this. You look at this person of this material world. Oh, he said this. Stephen Hawking said this. And we're impressed. Yeah, that guy is very intelligent. But actually, all these concepts are coming from the spiritual world. Because these people did not create these concepts. Yes. Yes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigra Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He's Sarva Karana Karana. So we need to start seeing that, hey, this concept is coming from this person over here, but it has to be in the Shastras. And that's why it's working. Anything which works in this material world has to come from the Lord because the Lord approves it. Like today's example, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, like an iron, like a magnet attracts the iron, or the iron is naturally attracted by the magnet. Where does this come from? It is coming from the Lord because the Lord wants it that way. Why can't I walk on water? Because the Lord has arranged. Yes, He Himself personally is arranging the atoms in such a way that the potency of water is created by the Lord. Yes, that is Krishna. That's why we say that everything and everywhere is Krishna. It is not just a sentimental thing to say, you know, which is that verse? Aham sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravardate iti matma bhajante mam buddha bhava samandita. Yes, aham sarvasya prabho. I am everything is me and everything is contained in me. There is nothing in this world which is not me. But what does that mean actually? That, oh yes, we have to be sentimental and premanjana churita bhakti vilochani, na, which is correct. Yes, we need those eyes of prema to see the Lord everywhere. But if you really see, whether we accept or not, the Lord actually exists in each and every atom, within each and every atom. So if if the Lord is not present in those atoms, the atoms cannot attract each other to actually withhold. I know most of us over here are, coming from technical background, and they must have read chemistry and, how the atoms are get attached to each other, like the H2O atom, the hydrogen atoms, the oxygen atoms. But the question is that why would an hydrogen atom get attracted to an oxygen atom? Why would they mix? No, 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 the perfect conditions are created, and then this happens, and then that's why, water was created, blah, 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 blah. But why? Why is there a need for the hydrogen atom to interact with the oxygen atom? Hydrogen atom doesn't have a purpose by itself. Where is that purpose coming from? Where is that concept coming from? The potency of attraction is Sankarsana. Yes? And that is the basis of the whole material world, material spiritual world. It's attraction. And who is the original Sankarsana? It's Nityananda Ram. Yes, Nityananda Prabhu. So, actually, the Lord is holding everything together. Yes. So, whenever we see this wall, this poster, why is the poster different than the wall? Is because the Lord in this potency wants to exhibit these qualities. Yes. And the Lord exhibiting these qualities come with this quality of a poster or this material or the floor which we are sitting on. Why don't we sink on into the floor? Yes, we don't just sink into the floor. Why? Because it's the Lord who's holding us up. Yes, people say, no, no, there is equal and opposite reaction. You know, Newton's third law says every action has equal and opposite reaction. Oh, Newton is so intelligent. Prabhuji, what do you know? See what Newton has done. But he's not creating the law. It's not like before Newton said that, people were just flying over here and people, they were doing actions and they were not getting any reactions. No, it was always there. So the question arises, who is giving that reaction for the action which we create? Let's say we create, ideally. Like I create in this body, like by pushing the wall. If I push water, there is no reaction. There is less reaction. That's why my hand sinks in water. But when I'm pushing this wall, you know, I am getting some reaction. But who is giving me that reaction? Yes, it is the Lord. And these concepts are very important for us because as devotees, this is how we can start seeing the Lord everywhere. Hey, why is this, motor car working so nicely? Why is this house looking so beautiful? Because the people who created that house are actually following what Krishna wants to follow for that nature. Yes, and that's why when Prahlad Maharaj over here today is saying that it is so natural for the iron to get attracted by the magnet, is because the Lord wants it that way. And when we act in our natural position as a Krishna conscious devotee, Jivere Swarupa hai Krishna Nityadas, then we will naturally be attracted to the Lord. Yes. The example where Prabhupada is given of Vrindavan, yes, that over there when I was reading, actually, I read that everyone in Vrindavan is attracted to the Lord. But what has Prabhupada written? He's written everything is attracted by Krishna in Vrindavan. Everything, and that's why I read it again, because we have this assumption, right? Like it would be everyone, but it isn't everyone. It's everything. Yes, even the land of Vrindavan. So who is this Dham? It's Nityanand Prabhu. Yes, the original Sankarsana is Balram. And that's why Balram and Nityanand Prabhu, in their incarnation, they are the supreme personality of Godhead in servitorship. Yes, supreme personality of Godhead in servitorship. In one of the this is a little bit going away from the topic, but I wanted to share this lecture which I had heard. And I was listening to Prabhupada's lecture, and he was talking about deity worship, you know. And so I was listening a 20 minutes lecture. And so Prabhupada finishes with, deity worship, this and that and that. And over there, a devotee asks a question that Srila Prabhupada, you mentioned that the deity is non-different than Krishna. Yes, the deity is non-different than Krishna. This is Krishna. There is no difference. It's not like Krishna is within the deity. No, the deity is Krishna. There is no difference. So then, similarly, if we are having your deity in the temple, yes, does that mean that your deity is going to function the same way as a deity in the temple, like Krishna's deity? Will that deity reciprocate with us? When we are paying obeisances, when we are praying, when we are chanting, when we see Prabhupada's murti, is it the same? And it might seem a simple question, but actually it is like a loaded question. Why? Because if I was thinking about it, that if Prabhupada says yes directly, that means the level of God and the level of Prabhupada is same. Then it is a problem. Why? Because we are not Mayavadis. So then, if he says no, then why are we having deities of Prabhupada? There is no need. It is just a thing to remember. It's like the deity in the temple room of Prabhupada is just a thing to remember. We don't want to forget Prabhupada. That's why we do. No, Prabhupada is actually sitting over there. Radhanath Maharaj, in so many of his classes, he says that Prabhupada is sitting over here. In his classes, he's always pointing out to Prabhupada. That if we actually have the consciousness that Prabhupada is here, how would we behave? Yes. So, it's not just a murti. So then I was very eager to hear what Prabhupada is going to mention. Because if he says anything left or right, it's going to be a problem. And then it's going to confuse me. Forget about somebody else. Maybe the devotee would be satisfied, but I will be confused. But Prabhupada, in his greatest of humility and his realization of Krishna, he said, that yes, the deity will function the same. Why? Because the guru is uh, he is the what did he say? Is that Krishna is the original master? Krishna is the original master. He's God. He's master in God. Because he's God, so he has the superior position. And I don't remember the exact words, but he said that the guru is God in servitorship, like supreme personality of Godhead in servitorship. Like Balramji is there. He's the Adi Guru, right? So there is no difference between the Guru Tattva and Krishna. Amrendra Prabhu always mentions this part, that there is no difference. So then Prabhupada is maintaining that. He's not saying that the deity won't function the same way, but at the same time he's saying that no, it is a servitorship God. Yes, the deity of Prabhupada is servitorship God, and the deity of Krishna is the master God. And I was amazed by the answer of Prabhupada. And I'm like, this is Achinta Bheda Bhed Tattva. That yes, they are same, at the same time they are different. And that's why um, that's why when we say that the Lord is everywhere, He is everywhere. And that's why the vision of us, it's not like, oh, Krishna is standing here with a flute. Yes, he could be standing there with a flute. But that is not the vision of the acharyas. How do the acharyas see? They see that everything, each and everything, whether it is our kitchen stuff, whether it is our house, why isn't the roof collapsing on us? Because it is Krishna who's holding it up. He is maintaining me. He is my maintainer. The food which we eat, that is Krishna, because he's allowing me to maintain this body. Yes. So it's really important for us to see that way. And that's why even the land in Vrindavan, which is Balramji, is attracted to Krishna. Before the Venugeet starts in Bhagavatam, Radha Maharaj actually mentioned this so nicely. Shukdev Goswami doesn't start the Venugeet directly. You know what he says? He says that now, you know, the water of Yamuna, yes, the trees in the forest of Vrindavan, they're blooming with flowers. The land, the sand of Vrindavan, the Raja of Vrindavan is it's more soft. You know, it's more soft. There are no thorns over there. And they all are eagerly attracted and looking for Krishna. And Krishna walks into the forest of Vrindavan. And in this way, he's taking the calves and cows and his friends. And along with him is his Venu. You know, is his Venu. And thinking of all this, the gopis of Vrindavan are starting to actually recite the Venu Gita. You know, thinking of this. So the main thing for all of us, as devotees, is to remember the Lord. Yes, what are the gopis doing? They are doing their household duties. Yes, are they not washing the clothes? Are they not cleaning the bathrooms? Are they not, making bhoga or prasad? Are they not dressing up? They are doing everything. No, no, but they are different people. When I will become in that position, then I will practice Krishna consciousness perfectly. It is so easy when Krishna is in front of you. But he is in front of you because everything is Krishna. When Krishna left for Mathura, all the gopis, when they even used to see a tree, they used to remember Krishna. Why? They used to see a tamal tree. The color of the tamal tree used to remind about Krishna, and they used to go in ecstasy in thinking about Krishna, in his remembrance. What is stopping us from doing that? Yes, and that's why Prabhupada mentions in the verse, what is stopping us from doing that is our material desire. Yes, one must be freed from all sinful dirt of material existence. Everyone in this material world is contaminated by material desire. Unless one is free from all material desire, one cannot be attracted by Krishna. Yes. So sometimes when we read all this, right, the dirt of material existence, and we naturally it is to think that we are doing something wrong. So if we do something right, then it is perfect. And then what is that right thing? That yes, I should not do any pap. Yes, I should not do any sinful activities because sinful activities are giving me bad reactions, and that is the problem. No, but that is not the problem. Yes. Yes, it is a problem, but that is not the major problem. The major problem is to think that if I do this activity and then I will get a good result and I'm working for those good results. That is also a big contamination. We have this culture. If you see in Bhagavatam, in this chapter of Prahlad Maharaj, who are Shanda Marka? They are Shukracharya's kids. Yes, they are Shukracharya's sons. And Prabhupada is mentioning that they are Brahmanas over here. They are Brahmanas. What is the duty of a Brahmana? is to study Shastra. Yes, to know about spiritual existence. Yes, to do, to think, like to, his duty is to chant the mantras, do yajnas and everything. So if these are Brahmanas over here, Shukracharya's sons, then they are still demons. Why are they demons? Because we think that demonic means what? Demonic means somebody with a big thorns, like they show in movies for a Mahabharata or Ramayana. There are two big thorns. Then he has teeth, big teeth, and then he's ugly. He's fat, He has big eyes, and he's doing some nonsense. No, that is not demonic. Over here, even though these are Brahmanas, it's not like Hiranyakashipu looked ugly. He was very beautiful. You know, he was beautiful than the most beautiful person today we have in this whole world. Yes, he was most beautiful. He had six-pack abs. He had a bodybuilder body. If that was a thing over at that time, because it's a thing today. So he has all that, and he doesn't look like a demon at all. That is not the problem. The problem over here is his consciousness. These are Brahmanas, Chanda and Maraka. They are using the Vedic culture. They are wearing a dhoti. They are putting tilak. Some other tilak might be. But they are getting up early in the morning. They are doing their, sadhana. And they are typical Brahmanas. They know Jyotish. They know astrology. They can tell the future. They're doing all this. They're doing yajnas. Shukracharya, we know that he does yajnas and all that stuff for the demons. But they are using the Vedic culture to do what? To do sense gratification for themselves. So we, mostly of us, we coming from an Indian background, we have the culture. Like Prabhupada mentions, the culture is there. But if we see in the whole of India, they are not using it to progress in Krishna consciousness. So it doesn't mean that automatically somebody might see that, oh, he's born in India, oh yeah, he's a great devotee. No. He must have done punya. Yes. That's why he's taking birth over there. And I was also hearing one of the classes that, like last time when we mentioned that we would want sons like Prahlad Maharaj. So the problem over there also is that we forget that children are their own identity. They have their own karma, or they have their own Krishna consciousness which they had did in the past. They might have done little, they might have done more. But it's very difficult for parents to be detached from the action of the result. Why? Because they want to perform that action and they want that specific result that the son or daughter, whoever it is, should be a devotee of the Lord. And they consider themselves a failure if they are not. But actually, if we have done our own duty, that is Krishna conscious itself. Why? Because the success isn't in completing the task. The success is that this is a person who's Krishna given me to take care. I will do my best. Why? For whom? For the person, yes, but because Krishna would be so pleased with me that I will do this part, that I will try to imbibe the qualities of a good Vaishnava in my child. But the child, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Usually in our society also we see, look at that guy, the, his son, he doesn't practice anymore, you know. It's the parents' fault, or something like that. No, it's not. It could be, but if we have done our best, and if we did it to please Krishna, and we are detached, then even if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Over here, Hiranyakashipu is trying so hard for his son to be materially conscious, you know, dirt conscious, I would say, material existence consciousness. He's trying his best, but it's not working out because he's not detached. So we might be devotees in the garb of devotees, but we might have the mentality of Hiranyakashipu, that we want to control our children, to be what we want them to be and forget that they have their own individual existence. Yes, own individual existence. And that's why the most important thing, I don't have children, but by seeing you can understand, and by hearing from the people who have, the most important thing is you can't control their destiny. If they are Krishna conscious, they are. But we can try, to be happy in our own Krishna consciousness, so that it is radiant for them to see that, hey, my whole life maybe I was distracted, but my parents are so happy in Krishna consciousness, even though they might not be doing so much, but they seem to be so consistent. They seem to be happy. They seem to love Krishna so nicely, you know. And I want something like that, you know. What is the material world giving? Nothing. That is the whole point. It is giving nothing. It is just giving more and more illusion. It is giving more and more attachment. And so, if they see that inspiration, they see that we are loving Krishna, we are trying to please Krishna, yes, then it becomes clear for them also that the purpose of a life is to please Krishna, not to come to some standard according to what the society wants. No, that is not what is the standard of Krishna consciousness. The standard of Krishna consciousness is how much we please Krishna. Yes, I might be poor in some things, but I'm trying my best. And the child would know that, you know. I've seen uh, children like who are in my relatives. It's like it's easy for them. I was asking one of my nieces, one of my niece, that hey, what do you think, like about this and blah blah blah, Krishna consciousness and all. Do you think it is good? And then it's like, do you think it is valuable, for you and all? And so this person was mentioning, this child was mentioning that, one thing I've observed, that she's like, I've seen you be happy, and I've seen you be happy than most of the people out there. So I think it might be working, you know, it might be working. And that is actually a big compliment which I got. And I was amazed that, somebody thinks of something about me, something good about me. But I'm like, hey, like what does Prabhupada say? It's like, we being happy in Krishna consciousness is like a big deal when we preach also. Because we should preach what we have faith in. If we have faith that this is happiness, this is my place to be, then it's going to show naturally. Yes. So we did sidetrack on that part, but I wanted to mention that because I was amazed that our happiness in Krishna consciousness is also a way to preach. It's also a way to show people that hey, you can be happy, even though they might not practice it now. You know, one of my friends who doesn't follow, he has been my childhood friend, and we've always been friends for such a long time. And one day, he had called me, and we were talking about something, and he immediately he mentioned that I went to this temple. I used to go to that temple every week, and I was amazed that this guy goes to the temple. I have never seen him go to the temple. And to an ISKCON temple, not even some random temple, like some ISKCON temple. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, at that time I was chanting one round every day. And the amazing thing is, I have never mentioned to him that you should chant. I do my thing, you do your thing. We'll interact because we have some attachments. Okay, fine. It's working fine. And I was amazed that he mentioned that he was chanting. And I didn't put too much thought to that because if you're going to compliment too much, I'm like, oh, you were chanting. I'm like, oh, very nice. So yeah, this and that. Because if you show too much also excitement, then it's like, hey, why is this guy getting excited too much? But I was amazed that he has never heard a class. He has only heard whatever I have told him, and it's mostly nonsense. But I don't know how, but he has some faith that he could chant. And I have never told him to actually, you should sit and then you should come in the temple, you should hear this class. Your life is a waste. What are you doing in life? Yes, we amongst devotees, yes, we need to have philosophically strong background, but we can be compassionate. And similarly, we can be compassionate to our own peers, to our own devotees in the temple, and to our own family members also. That is fine. Why? Because some or the other day you're going to be Krishna conscious, right? Everybody is going to go back home, back to Godhead. That is guaranteed. Because the material world is made in such a way that that dirt of material existence is going to trouble us so much that we would want to get out. And at that time, you'll do it on your own. But right now, do you really need my harsh words? Do you really need my hard philosophy? And that is called contemporary preaching. It's not soft preaching. It's not hard preaching. It's 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 simple. Why? Because anyone can interact with anyone on the level of the platform, the soul. Yes. We just need to know how. It's not a technique. Actually, you can talk about Krishna anywhere. Why? Because Krishna being universal, he is within everyone's heart. We have to just approach that person in that way. I am saying this, but I've heard it in a lecture, that's why I'm saying it. But when I go for for Harinam and all, oh, it's like total anxiety. The whole 45 1 hour is whole anxiety. So I wouldn't be the technique guy over here, but I have heard that. So if it's beneficial for somebody else, yes. And one last, we'll go to one more point which Prabhupada mentions in this translation, that he says that Prahlad Maharaj says that a iron attracted by a magnetic stone moves automatically toward the magnet. My consciousness, having been changed by his will, is attracted by Lord Vishnu, who carries a disc in his hand. What is the important part over here also? Having been changed by his will. That is really important. Why? Because his will, I've always heard this in all the classes. It's like we might, we are trying, that is good. But ultimately, we need to understand that we cannot remove the anarthas on our own. That is not possible at all. Yes, it's Krishna who's going to remove it. It is Krishna who's going to remove it. It's not us at all. We have to be really fixed on this point. Now, someone might say, oh, if Krishna is removing it, then okay, then let's not do anything. Let's not do these festivals and all, forget about everything, just sit over there and do whatever we want. You're like, who cares? Because Krishna is eventually going to do everything. No, he's going to see our desire also. We need to have the desire that I don't want this anartha. We need to have the desire that I want to be attracted by the Lord. We need to have the desire that, yes, Krishna, I want to be your servant. Jivere Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. I want to be your servant. I want to be, a person who can make you happy. Ashlishavapadaratam pinashtamam. I want to aspire for that level. I want to imbibe the qualities of my Guru Maharaj, of Srila Prabhupada, or of Rupa Goswami. I want that humility. Trinadapi Sunichena. We want to have that desire. Why? Because once we start having a desire and then we start contemplating on it, it's automatic for us to think about it. Yes. And then Krishna being pleased is going to help us do that. In material world also, if we start desiring something, right? Today is Nityananda Trayodasi. What am I going to have in the temple today? Today is going to be feast in the temple. Oh no, oh my God, Charnamrit. Oh my God, the Kirtan. Oh my God, Gajar ka halwa. Or gulab jamuns. Oh, maybe I won't eat sweet today. Maybe I will do this. Maybe I will do that. So we are desiring, we are contemplating. Yes. And when we start desiring that, we are on time for prasadam. Yes or no? We are on time. A person who has a very strong desire to actually end his fast is going to look at that, clock going by seconds. There is still 2 hours left. Oh, still 1 hour left. Oh, wow. For Janmashtami, usually when you're doing the whole day, the seva and all, and you're fasting, like, oh my God, 6 more hours. How am I going to deal with this? You know, I can't, still 4 more hours, still 3 more hours, or on God Purnima, when is the moon going to rise? When is the moon going to rise so that I can break my fast? When can I actually, start having prasad? So, because we start desiring, we are contemplating on it naturally. Yes, we are contemplating on it naturally. So that's why it is said, the designation of Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam. Yes, Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam. We need to give up that designation that I am the controller and enjoyer. We have to accept a designation called as being a servant of Krishna. Would a servant do this? Yes, why our desires might be very strong, and I'm sometimes, most of the times, I'm succumb to my desires. But at least we can start thinking that I am a devotee. I should think like a devotee. I am the servant of God. So when we change the designation, then we start behaving like that. Slowly, slowly, we start behaving like that. A person who is born in India and a person who is born in America, you know, as children, do as a 1 year old child does, if you put those two babies together, are they gonna have a fight that which country is better? Whose GDP is greater? Oh, America is great. No, 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 India is great because we have the culture. Oh, no, 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 America is great because we have the fast food. Oh, no, 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 this and that. And no, they are not going to fight like that at all because they didn't accept an upadhi yet. There is no upadhi yet. But as they start growing, they start accepting that the upadhi is of me being an American, of me being an Indian. And then, India is so great. Yes, obviously it is great. And then we start reading about it because we have this upadhi. And then as an American, obviously, need to have that history. So we are creating that upadhi, that designation that I am this ism and that ism. And then slowly we start behaving on that platform. Okay, if tomorrow somebody says something bad about India, I am going to get hurt. Why? Because I have naturally accepted that upadhi. But was it there when I took birth? It wasn't there because I started thinking about it that way. I started desire, even though I didn't desire, because of the association, it's there with me. But if you see the other way, that's why association of devotees is so important. That we are developing that upadhi of a servant of Krishna. Yes. If we are alone somewhere, it will be very difficult to do that. Why? Because who's going to help us create those desires? That's why association of devotees is so important. It cleanses that material existence of me being a controller and enjoyer. And when we are associating, the Lord is watching us. And by His will, then the existence goes down and down. There is one story which I will end with. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions over there that there is a marriage party, right? We all must have heard this story. And I had heard this story initially when I was, in undergrad, and initially I started reading. And what was the story? That there is a marriage party. They start early in the morning. It's pitch dark. They take their lanterns and everything. And then there is a boatman. So all of them sit in the boat. They're starting to row the boat. The boatman is starting to row the boat. He's on it for hours, like he's really rowing the boat. He has these big muscles and he's like big puffed up body and everything, and then he's rowing and everybody's like, oh, look at this person. Now we are going to reach for the marriage sooner than later. Yes, sooner than later. And he's rowing and he's rowing. It's been half an hour, it's been 1 hour, it's been 2 hours. And the marriage party, the guy in the marriage party, because it's like, there's fog and everything, they don't realize what's going on. And so after some time, it's becoming like too long. So the people start asking him, hey, it's like, you have been rowing for 6 hours now. We haven't reached yet. We should have reached in the 4 hours. Why haven't we reached? He's like, you have seen me rowing for 6 hours. You are seeing me performing the duty perfectly. It's not my fault. He's like, yeah, it's not your fault. Then what is the problem? I'm like, I don't know. So everybody starts looking here and there. And when the sun comes up and actually the fog goes away, they see that they're still in the same position as they started. They didn't even move an inch. Why? Because the anchor was not lifted out. They didn't lift the anchor. The boat was still tied to the shore. And the boat even didn't start to move. So what does the boatman do? And they all get late, and then the marriage, becomes late and everything. So what does Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mention over there? And which I heard from other devotees is that until and unless we remove that rope or the anchor, how much ever we are going to try to row, it's not going to work. We are going to be there in the same position. And when I heard this, I got really, really, really scared. I'm like, what does it mean to remove that anchor? That means I have to become like a sannyasi today. I have to become a paramhamsa today. Because if I make even one mistake, that means the anchor is still there. It's not going to work out. I have to like perform my sadhana perfectly. Otherwise, this anchor is not going to go away. I cannot do this, I cannot do that, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole stress. And so after a few months, I met another devotee. Okay. And then he was asking me that, Prabhuji, why are you taking so much stress? Why are you behaving like this, And then I was mentioning him, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says this, you need to remove him, blah, 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 blah. And Radhanath Maharaj was saying this, that until and unless we do this, until and unless we, this is what I got from Guru Maharaj's lecture. But that is not what he was saying. But what I got the impression was that it's because of me. Yes. I need to work so, so, so hard. I have to burn myself so much. Then only it's going to work out. It's me who's going to decide how to remove that anchor. It's me who's going to do everything so perfectly. No pap at all. And then it will be perfect. It's me who's going to do it. But this Prabhuji was mentioning, I was mentioning to him, see, this is what Maharaj said and blah, 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 blah. And then he looked at me and he said, Prabhu, Maharaj in another lecture also says this, that we cannot lift that anchor on our own. We can't do that. It's Krishna who removes the anchor. And I was like, oh, this lecture I haven't heard. And it gave me an eye-opening statement that, yes, he said that, yes, we can try. But that trying is only in our heart, in our hands. Actually, the removal of the anarthas is in Krishna's hands. So it's not that, oh, let me forget about everything and not do anything. Oh, no, let me do everything. And it's only me who's going to be the Karlo Dunya Mutti mein, thumbs up ad, I think. It's like Karlo Dunya Mutti mein, you can conquer the world. Yes. You are the man, yeah, and nothing can stop you. And there's this song also, that you're a firework, something like that. And then, Lord, don't let anybody hide you or, cover you up. Be yourself. Do it yourself. Do not depend on anyone. But this is the whole problem, that we think that we are still the controllers and enjoyers. We think I can be the removal of the anchor. I will do it myself. But actually, if you see, who are these people who think like that? They are the Mayavadis, the Buddhists. Yes. If you look at them, they are really doing it themselves. They're trying to remove the anchor of material existence by themselves. And what happens, we know in Shastra. What happens to them? Actually, nothing happens to them because it does not exist. It is bogus, you know. Like Mayava Chunilo, Hoye Sarvanasha, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, and Prabhupada, we know that all is Mayavadis, or all the perspective is to control and enjoy, to be the controller and enjoyer. It has not gone. Yes, you want to remain, some might be successful, but they come back because there is nothing to do over there. So we shouldn't fall into that trap also. Yes, that's why a person who's trying very, 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 very hard, he should also at the same time know that it's not by my endeavor that it's going to happen. I have to depend on Krishna. Otherwise, we are trying like a Mayavadi that I will go back home, back to Godhead, rather than Krishna will invite me back home, back to Godhead. Krishna will take me over there. There is a big difference. I want to go back home, Godhead. I will do it. Yes, I will do everything. I will please Krishna. Krishna has to be pleased by my endeavor. No, he doesn't have to be pleased by anybody's endeavor. Who is he? He's actually Swarat, right? Janmadhyasya Yatanva. He's Swarat. If he pleases even a person who's a rat bag, who doesn't do anything, he'll be purified better than all of us together, doing all of our chanting. If Krishna wants it, he'll go back home, back to Godhead, like Ajamil. You know, yes, we give reasons in the background that yes, he was a devotee before, then he fell down and blah 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 blah. But if you really see by one name of Narayana, not three names, oh, just one name, Narayana, the whole thing came up together. The Vishnu Dutas came and then they are having a conversation and blah 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 blah. It's like one name. Yes. And what is the Lord showing here? That the Lord is really independent. There are ajamils, means there are people with that consciousness. And let's say if I'm doing practicing some bhakti, and if somebody is not practicing as much, and if I get to know that he is going back home, back to Godhead before me, without doing much, what is my reaction? What is my reaction? How is it possible? Who the hell is this guy to go? अरे ये तो उठता भी नहीं था सुबह. He hasn't even attended one time Mangal Arati. He doesn't even know anything. And he's going back home, back to Godhead. What nonsense. That's not possible. How is that possible? This is unfair. Call Krishna over here. I want to ask him, how is it fair? This is not justice. How dare Krishna bring somebody back home, back to Godhead without he being following like I am following? Without he following the rules and regulations properly, without doing bhakti properly, how can he come back home, back to God? But this is the whole point. Are we comfortable with Krishna to give his mercy to anybody and anyone, and we are happy for that person? This is what Maharaj says, that where we are happy for other devotees. And this guy wasn't even a devotee. We are happy that, oh, you're going back home, back to God. So nice. But I would really have a problem if that happens. Who the hell is he to go back home, back to Godhead? So we are not. It's like I've seen it with myself. I am not comfortable when somebody gets more mercy than I have, or I don't even know if I have mercy. That's another thing. But I'm not comfortable. Why? Hey, उसने क्या किया ऐसा? कुछ नहीं किया. This person was doing this. How dare he get this position? But no, if Krishna wants it, who the hell am I to say? It is Krishna's world. It's not my world. It's Krishna's will. He can do anything and anyone to anyone. And that is the real meaning of Ashlishava Padaratam. It doesn't matter if anybody goes back home, back to God, or everybody goes, and I'm the only one left behind. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is that I'm trying to please you. Your happiness is what I want, and nothing else. This is really difficult. But this is what we aspire for. And that's why we all get together, and that's why we all chant together. We hear Bhagavatam. We try to assimilate it in our own lives. And then Krishna will remove that anchor slowly, maybe hastily. But it's more than fast, you know. He's doing his job. We have to do ours. Yes. So we'll stop here today. Again, I would like to thank you all for actually listening very carefully and giving me this opportunity. Thank you again. I hope I haven't offended or done anything to anybody. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very wonderful class. So you were saying that we should not force the children. So that's how I understood. So if it is destined in their, if it is destined for them to take this path of bhakti, then yes, they will take. Otherwise, how much ever we advise them, it's not possible. So until the Lord's mercy is there, it's not possible. And you were saying that your friend, someone who was going to temple by the way you instructed him. So you didn't know what you said, but maybe it must have got in his mind. So that's how it's working. You say like we say, no, the one who has gone to the devotee who has got to us in this path of bhakti. So I think it's Vartaman Prataksha Guru. So yeah, so like that you have been for that person. So so like that we have each and every one of us have that person. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very wonderful class. And yeah, so we'll go for question and answers. Shri Krishna Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anita Mataji, for allowing me to ask. Anand, Chaitanya Prabhu, your class is very, very practical.
Thank you.
You didn't quote more slokas and all, but you took the natural thing happening. So it's easily able to relate. We are able to be in synchronization with what you're thinking. So I want to just, living Nityananda Trayadashi Day, so in our Bhakti Sangha, there's been Jayananda Gaurari Prabhu. He connected me to your god brother, Anand Vrindavan Prabhu. And I found he's really doing such a fantastic job.
Yes.
Every day, 300 devotees chanting together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. From 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And I spoke to him. I said, Prabhu, I want to go back. I'm not ordering. I'm just desiring to go. You told me, I want to go back. I really desire to go back, come back to God. By Guru Gauranga Mercy. So I told, I got a lot of about more than 50,000 people who are with me in connections. I want everyone to go back because the gate he has opened, Prabhu, is so wonderful, Prabhu. You may be knowing, but roads, subah, 4 baje se 7 baje tak, 3 hours, the gate is open. 1.5 hours, you have to punch and go. They will watch. You're chanting properly, then your attendance is okay. And then Saturday, Sunday, 32 rounds, 3.5 hours. Okay, I'm retired now. And then once in a month, 64 rounds. And once in 3 months, 128 rounds.
Right.
And once in a year, 192 rounds. I really found it is really amazing. And they are really opening the gates to go back up. And I saw the interest, 192 rounds, there are about 180 people went to Jagannath Puri. Everybody has, one Mataji told, I'm so happy, Prabhu, I'm blissful, I don't want anything, I'm happy to be in this group, I don't want to be removed. So I told him, really, this is preached, no, Prabhu. Half the problem is solved because if you chant properly, 98% of the problem is solved. Only 2% balance. But to get the 2%, you do 98, and to get the 98, you do the 2%. So I told him, I'm joining, I'm a new boy, tomorrow I want to join. He said, please join. So I should not waste your time, but Prabhu, wo really sab log ko join karna hai, Prabhu. Because that is really
it's amazing.
And it's Radhanath Maharaj mercy that kitne food ke ro rahe Prabhu chanting karke. Sorry, I'm not wasting your time. Don't feel bad.
Oh, no, Prabhu. It's always good to hear about Anand, Prabhu. It's like glorifying devotees.
Zoom is having 500 people, 200 seats are still left. I think everyone should join. Sorry for wasting your time. Thank you, Prabhu. But your class is amazing. It touched my heart.
Thank
बहुत
you,
अच्छा
Prabhu.
लगा.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So yes, as Shubhakar Krishna Prabhu said, that morning the gate is open,
Mm.
but it is difficult for me to open the gate. So that's morning waking up is a problem,
Yeah.
like somehow we struggle and we wake up and we are sitting in that position to at least to please the Lord. So it's not like that, I think, but I don't know whether Lord is getting pleased or not, because I just put my endeavor, that's all. So,
He will be
I don't
definitely.
it will take much more time for me to be very punctual in that. So yes,
Yes.
of course the gate is open, we have to get utilized of that. Thank
That's-
you so much, Prabhuji. So I don't find any more questions or hand raise. Yeah. So
Right.
thank you, Prabhuji. So everyone is praising that it was amazing class. Yes, Shyamaguri Mataji, do you have anything to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Shyamaguri Mataji. Jai Jai.
Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji, and very practical, as Guru Krishna Prabhu said, very practical class, and very, very nicely you related with Nityananda Trayadashi and Suladan Maharaja's pastime. Very nice. Thank you so much.
Jai Jai. Thank you, Shyamaguri Mataji. Your mercy. Thank you. Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you, Mataji. So with your permission, we can end the call here, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again for giving us your valuable time and association. It was our pleasure to get you on the call today and hear so practical class. Devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Mancha
Kalpataruभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो नमो नमः.
की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, His Grace की जय,
Chaitanya
नित्य
Prabhuji
प्रभु
ki
जी
jai.
की जय।
जय हो
Radhe Radhe.
गौर
Thank you,
रामदास
Radhe.
नित्यानंद
Radhe.
जय.